Hey everybody, welcome back to more Let's Play Higurashi When They Cry How. Last time we finished off Onikakushi on a dark note. We died. That's spoilers, we died. But it seems that even though we did our best, the mysterious event seems to be unresolved. This time though, we're going to shift gears into this extra scene and go to the all-cast review. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Thank you for buying Higurashi When They Cry Onikakushi, a visual novel by the 07th expansion. Yes! How was it? If you enjoyed it even a little bit, it would make me happy. You know what, 07? I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. For what it was, I did enjoy it. It actually made me... It creeped me out. Even a little bit of stretching it. The dark ending made me angry. Oh, even Rika didn't like it. That is true. What Ren is saying is true. It's the prologue to the entire series. You don't just start out with Beatrice and Lambda Delta and Willard Wright in Legend of the Golden Witch. No. You have to get that stuff later. For now, just the prologue, the sampling of what this world has to offer. So obviously, the first chapter, like, yeah, it's gonna have a bad ending. You know what, Rika? I am looking forward to the next one too. I am so looking forward to the next one. The next chapter will introduce another aspect of the story. Ooh. What does that mean? In this chapter, they introduce the string of mysterious deaths that were happening in Hinamizawa. Next chapter will introduce some of the history of Hinamizawa. Okay. So we're gonna probably find out a little bit more about Oishiro from a historical point of view. Like, the history of Hinamizawa, how it went from Onikakushi to Hinamizawa, and stuff that happened. Yeah, they really didn't talk about Oishiro's, like, origins or anything, or even the worshipping of Oishiro. They just said that, oh, here, we worship this deity. And then it's like, oh, hey, this deity curses people. I got a feeling that there's a little bit more underneath this than what was let on, and I can't wait to dig into that in the next chapter. Somebody gets cursed again. Tough luck. What kind of curse are... It's like the curse of the week! You know what? Yeah. I agree with Satoko. While I am interested in what kind of situation he's going to be in, I am looking forward to the story overall next chapter. Oh! Hello, you! Hello, you two! God, it's been so long since I've seen Tomataki's sprite that I completely, like, forgot what it looked like. Oh, man. Okay, so Keiichi's already reading the script for the next chapter. I'd imagine he'd still be the main character. Could have at least poked in to say hello. It's probably because he doesn't have any character. Okay. Alright, so you guys wanna know a little bit of history? So, way back, before the 07th expansion took down the original version of Higurashi, when you bought the Higurashi chapter 1 through 4 bundle, on the same website, on the same page that you bought it, there were also bios for the characters if you scroll down. Keiichi's bio was there, and it did show his 07, like, his 07 official art back at the time. His 07 official art does not appear at all until way later. We're talking like chapter 5 later. So, it's funny that they say that when, no, he had official art. They put it on the website. So, no, they're just leaving him in. They're just leaving him out just for shits and giggles. That was the mother of all bad ends. I'm actually curious about that too. And that phone call, yes. We need to talk about that phone call. That phone call was so weird. The scene before that last scene had Keiichi convinced that it was all these people and all these co-conspirators, basically human theory, if we're speaking in Human Echo terms. And then when he made the phone call, suddenly it's like, oh yeah, it's Orishiro. Basically, witch theory. Like, what the fuck happened between the last scene that we were Keiichi and the scene we were Oishi? I can't. I don't know. It's really weird. But why don't we all share our theories? Alright. Before we get to Sonozaki, let me actually... I can't really say any theories on what specifically happened, but based on everything I saw, this chapter was really pointing towards curse theory. Everything can really make sense in this concept if you just put Orishiro as the conductor of everything, because that would explain why Mion and Rena just on a dime, and why everything just went bad, why the whole world just seemed to get weirder and weirder, and more coincidences just started happening. The metal bat, the whole, our friends turning evil, everything. It all makes sense if it's the demon hunt that happened way back, apparently, in Onikakushi with Orishiro's curse. I know that that's a little bit of a cop-out, and trust me, after I said that I believe in the human theory at the end of Human Echo, I'm pretty sure that a couple people don't agree with me, but this chapter just really seemed like curse theory. But let's get into what the characters think. I absolutely believe it was people. Okay, so Sonozaki believes that it was people. It's a man-made incident that was just imitating this strange folklore. Okay, that's actually a very good possibility. If every year on the day of the festival, if some group or mysterious person or whatever, or just random people were like, hey, let's just continue this bullshit, was like, let's make it look like this mysterious deaths. It could be the village. It could have been everything that Keiichi thought at the very end. So, seeing that there was a pattern, people decided, alright, let's reenact this folklore. Okay, so Satoko agrees with me, it was a curse. Looking at the scene where Keiichi went berserk in the entry, that's right, the phantom that followed us home, as well as the last scene with the phone call. It really points to a curse. Like, you can't really make up those scenes. And honestly, in fact, I kind of want to dive a little bit away from the visual novel. That whole scene with the front door was omitted from the anime of Higurashi when they cry. but not the last scene with a phone call. Which means that if you look at it with the anime's perspective, it actually points more towards humans because they omitted that one crucial scene with the Phantom following you home, which was a very creepy scene. And Tomatake... Did I just say Tomatake? No. Sorry. Every time I say Tomatake, I'm afraid that I use the word, the name that I used in the past. In the past, I called him Tamate. Tomatake brings up an interesting point. Post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as a delusional episode. If we believe it on that front, if Keiichi was stressing out, then yeah, he very well could have imagined the whole, like, Phantom following you home. So Keiichi was so scared that he imagined things. That's actually an interesting point of view. So he would think that someone was behind him, and then it would turn out that he was just imagining things. A red herring. Red herring. Okay, so they're starting to think that Keiichi was just having a stress-induced delusion from being mentally cornered, instead of an actual curse. It is a possibility. The theory that Oishi proposed during the story that it was a conspiracy was correct. Makes you think. Thanks, Oishi. That's right. There would be a lot of loose ends, especially with something happening 5 years in a row. If the human is a culprit, then there has to be a motive. That's right. We did fucking nothing to this village, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, fuck this guy. Why? Why us? There was not really a motive for us to die. What would be gained from killing us? See, here's the thing. If they wanted to imitate the murder, or the deaths, or whatever the fuck... Let's see, it was 2 murders, suicide, accident... There's 2 accidents, 1 illness, 1 suicide, and 2 murders. And then Tomatake and... Takano. Takano was her name. Yeah, if they were after Keiichi, he would have died on the night of the Watanagashi, not a couple of weeks later. Yeah, none of their money was stolen, so... But even if they're reenacting the folklore, then that would strictly have it on Watanagashi. Keiichi had this happen after Watanagashi. If he was intended to be the victim all along, they would have made their moves leading up to Watanagashi, and he would have been killed on Watanagashi. Who gains from this reenactment? It really couldn't just be because he didn't have a sprite, even though he totally did, even in the original, according to Manga Gamer's website. Then again, I did buy the game. I did buy the game after Kai was released, so they may have added that in later, so I'm pretty sure they didn't have a sprite back then. See, without a motive, there's not really any leg to stand on. And that's one of the main reasons why I think that this chapter in particular is more of the curse side. Because Keiichi did fucking nothing. It's not like Human Echo, where there was 20 billion yen involved. Like, 20 billion yen, 20 tons of gold. It's not like that. No, this time Keiichi was just some fuckboy nobody in this fucking little town in the middle of fucking nowhere. And they're just like, fuck this guy, for no reason. So, I think it's more realistic to say that it's a curse. Go with me on this. It's more realistic to say that Odashiro cursed Keiichi than it is to say that someone just said, fuck this guy out of the middle of nowhere. Because there's no motive. If there was a motive, like, say, Keiichi found out something that he shouldn't have, that would have been one thing. But we never did. The only things we really found out were, honestly, more or less slightly public knowledge and some private knowledge, like the public knowledge that people died leading up to the events. How is that motive enough to kill us? Everyone knows that. People died, people disappeared, that's just a fact. Some of the things like Rena's past, that might be a reason why Rena might want to hurt us, or at the very least Oishi. I can't believe he got out of this scot-free. But no, there was no reason why someone would want Keiichi dead. Which is why I say that it was very possible that it was a curse. Okay, see, that is something I actually brought up in my Let's Play, is the possibility that Rena and Mion both had those personalities from the start, and the friendship was nothing more than a facade, and they were just some sick, twisted fucks. I know, but remember, you're all actors, apparently. You never know. You never know what someone's real intentions are. There has to be a reason for a curse. What do you mean a reason for a curse? They explained it in a chapter. Keiichi was an outsider. It goes all the way back to the fact that they curse people who enter Onikakushi, and they curse people who leave Onikakushi. Like, technically Keiichi is an outsider. He was not born in Hinamizawa, and thus, when he enters Hinamizawa, that is reason enough for Odashiro to curse him. By the way, if you're wondering about the time frame that we're almost reaching 20 minutes, fuck it. This whole episode's gonna be the all-cast review. So this is gonna be a long one, or a short one, depending on how long this is. When you put it like that, I don't know what Odashiro's benefit would have been. Like, what would he have to gain? That's why they say, far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. Well, the problem is, because we haven't learned enough about Odashiro, we can't really, like, we can't. We're gonna have to wait till next chapter when we get some lore dump that we can actually, you know, figure it out. It is still just the prologue, so there's a lot of stuff that haven't been revealed yet. So, by this point, it's either a bunch of humans trying to reenact the curse for one reason or another, or a curse that actually did happen. The question is, which do you, the audience, believe in? Oh, you want to make this a club activity? Alright, fine, we'll make this a club activity. Oh god, they're making this a club activity. So, we have Oishi thinking it was a curse, Mataki thinking it was people, Satsuko thinks it's a curse, as well as Rena. Mion thinks it was people. I'm not sure what Rika thinks, but so far it's 3 curse, 2 people. My only problem, though, with the curse is that... Or no, my only problem... Like, okay, I have problems on both sides. On one hand, it's... Okay... let's say it's the people explanation. Alright? Alright. Let's reenact the murders. Let's reenact the... I keep on saying murders because of Humanecto. Let's reenact the deaths. Alright, one person dies, one person disappears on the night of Watanagashi. Alright, what the fuck happens to where after Watanagashi, they're like, you know what, let's take it a bit farther. You see that kid over there? Yeah, that new kid? Fuck that kid! Let's fuck with him. Let's get Mion and Rena in on this too. So, I mean, when it comes to that, there's no motive for any person to do anything. Meanwhile, on the curse side, like, it doesn't feel like a satisfying explanation. It was a curse. The end. Like, can you really accept something like that? It's the same problem with people believing in the magic ending or the human ending, depending on which side you're on, in Yumeneko. I personally believed in the human ending at the very end. Some people believe in the magic ending. The problem is, it's up to the individual to decide if they're happy with the ending they got. In this one, it's more or less the same, but we don't have 8 chapters to go off of, we have 1. Like, it essentially comes down to whatever theory you pull up, are you happy with that theory? Right now, honestly, I'm not completely satisfied with the curse ending. I feel like the curse ending is missing a motive. Even though it says that Odashiro curses people in that order by tradition, there's not a rhyme or reason. Now, granted, it's the first chapter, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure later on we're going to find out more about Odashiro and why he does things. But other than that, there really wasn't a motive. Now, if we go on the human side, there wasn't a motive either! So what the fuck?! I don't think that Odashiro is a bad god. I don't want to worship some bad god that just curses people. I'd like a generous god more than one that curses. Okay. So... 3 for people, 3 for curses. just go with that. Oh, the troll that is Rika. So it is a tie. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely something to think about. Like, on one hand, you have a curse. But as they brought up, even deities have to have a reason behind something. So, even a curse has to have a smoking gun. And I can't find a motive for either. I can find at least tradition with curse. And that's why, for this chapter, I'm going with the curse explanation. Because there's at least a reason why Orishiro is cursing. I don't know, but we have seen with the history of Onikakushi that there was rumors that he cursed people who went in, and he cursed people that tried to, or ogres that tried to leave. So, Keiichi being an outsider moving into Hinamizawa, it makes sense. It makes sense that Rena and Mion were possessed the whole time. It makes sense that some of the villagers were possessed the whole time. They got into this white van. This manager may have been Orishiro possessing someone themselves. Who knows? The problem is, though, we don't know the motive of Orishiro himself. And that's something that's the missing smoking gun, is the motive. Remember what Willard said, do not forget the heart. There is the why. Now, when we flip this on the other hand, I can't find any reason why someone would want to fuck with Keiichi the whole time. Like, oh, I just moved into Hinamizawa. Fuck that guy! Let's fucking murder him! What the fuck? Like, no, that doesn't, there's, Keiichi didn't, like, walk in on a murder scene. He didn't discover something he shouldn't have. Everything that he discovered was public knowledge, and all the things that were private knowledge that he discovered wasn't something that I feel like Orishiro would have cursed under. It's something that his friends would have been pissed off about, but nothing that Orishiro would give a flying fuck about. I'd imagine, unless Orishiro does, in which case, well, that was it. But then, the question arises, why is Oishi not cursed? Like, of all people, Oishi would have had the best chance of being murdered. And his death would have actually had some motive. He's a cop. He's snooping around. He's getting clues. He's finding out stuff that he shouldn't have. But Keiichi's just a schoolboy. So... Oh, are we gonna call him? The opinion of the victim himself. It's already time for the next one. I can hear you, you know. Okay, at the time I assumed there wasn't character art, but it's funny now that there's character art. I mean, I guess with editing magic, I could stick him in the frame. Yeah, we died. Oh, that actually can work. A couple of people saying, fuck this guy, but at the same time, all the phantoms and the other things chasing Keiichi turned out to be Orishiro, so Keiichi just gets double fucked. You know, I really need to stop using words that people can just take out of context. Everybody's just picking on me. Next time I'll pat you on the head. Aww. That actually can kind of work though. Okay, Keiichi's... Okay, let's actually take Keiichi's version. People are cursing. No, people are cursing. I'm cursing. Fuck you. Right? No. In Keiichi's version, a bunch of people are trying to reenact the curse, right? And so that's where you get the whole Mion and Rena. Or maybe Mion and Rena were the curse, but at least the people in the white van, those were the people trying to reenact the curse. Maybe they did kill Tomatake, and they made Takano disappear. Why is Takano not here? She has, right? So then they're doing the curse, or they're reenacting the curse. Meanwhile, Urashiro has his own purpose. Maybe Keiichi was an outsider, and he possesses Mion and Shion to do things. Or maybe Mion and Shion are part of the people, but whatever. So then Urashiro has phantoms, or maybe Urashiro was the phantom following Keiichi. And then when Keiichi ran away from the people in the forest, Urashiro started to fuck with him hardcore. Like, we're talking, if you guys have ever played Fatal Frame, we're talking that type of fucking with him. And it made him believe in the curse. From that perspective, that's actually also a realistic point. So, I love how Keiichi found an actual legitimate happy medium that it could totally be both. Next chapter. Higurashi when they cry, Watanagashi. And that is actually it. I got the achievement, Onikakushi Party. I read all the tips. That's everything this chapter has to offer. But we're not ready to go back into the world of Hinamizawa just yet. Join me next time for, well, something a little bit different. We're gonna have a tea party. Before we actually get into Watanagashi, we're going to have a tea party for Onikakushi. This is going to happen at the end of each chapter. This is going to be a spoiler episode. Alright? I don't know how long it's going to be, but we're going to be talking about Onikakushi from a spoiler analytical perspective. So, this is going to be added to the end of the playlist. If you are watching this in the background and you are listening in, I'm warning you right now. Skip to the next playlist if you have not read Higurashi. Otherwise, if you had, this last video that's coming up next, it's for you. So, that's my warning. I'll do another warning in the next video. But until then, guys, this has been Watanagashi. This has been Onikakushi. I'll probably say the next chapter is Sumahotoboshi. No, wait, Sumahotoboshi is chapter 6. Teteragoroshi, I think, is the 3rd chapter. I don't know how to say Japanese words. We're going to end it off here before I embarrass myself even more. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Join me next time for that tea party if you want spoilers. If not, I'll see you in Watanagashi. Till then, guys, my name's OneCrazyFox1. See you then.